How's it going, ladies and bruisers? I'm Bobby Sixkiller and welcome back to Tyranny. Now, in this episode, we are probably going to spend the majority of this episode in the Scarlet Chorus camp, seeing we spent pretty much all of the last episode in the disfavored camp. The binder of Tunon arrives, squealing with teenagers' timber. The fifth eye's voice makes your gums itch and your fingernails feel in need of a trim. And we just finished having a bit of sport with some captives, but no, worry not. We'll have more fun with another batch momentarily. Dressed in the bronze-red regalia of the Crimson Spears, the fifth eye beckons you to stand close, waggling a blood-spattered glove. Now that you have issued this edict and doomed us all to die, have you come to help us climb out of this hole? Chirps of laughter emanate from under his mask. What do we got? I trust you're getting your warriors ready for battle? We know the Oathbreakers are focused on the citadel beneath the mountain spire, but we have learnt that this is not their only nest. The fifth eye wags a hand in the air with a high-pitched squeal of displeasure. Given their pattern of attacks, they must have a second group maintaining camp here in the outer valley, and unless we deal with the second group, they'll attack us from behind the moment we cross the river. You have how large a force, and for all these weeks you've let the enemy move freely through the valley? I'm hurt. Insult my manners, or maturity, but do not insinuate that I sit idle when there's blood to be shed. The Crimson Spear clasps his fists together. We have dealt with countless Oathbreakers, but one group remains at large despite our best efforts. Captain Pelox's crew constantly evades or kills our own gangs. So you need help taking out these Oathbreakers. And while a good old-fashioned slaughter would be an efficient solution, the smarter answer is to not kill them, but add their strength to ours. My last group of scouts returned with a new batch of prisoners, and one of these prisoners claims that she can lead us to the Vendrian Guard's second camp, though there are shreds of deception in her voice. I could use your help questioning this Varia Kell. Perhaps you'll get less screams and tears and more useful information out of her. If we knew where to ambush the Oathbreakers, we could try to take their captain, and show them the wisdom of joining the chorus. I'll speak with the prisoner. I'll meet you there. She is waiting by the other prisoners. Alright, that gives us something to do. Who else we got? Who are you? Upon noticing your approach, the merchant straightens his posture and smiles. What an honor! The name's Snigger Dagos. Originally from the relative tranquility of the Northern Empire, I've since accepted a nomadic life for the sake of keeping Kyros's force supplied with only the finest goods, local and imported. Let me see your wares. He winces a little. It's not much, but let me know if anything piques your interest. Okie dokie. Might as well sell some of this shit, I suppose. Like our ceremonial armor. Plus 1 quickness. I think it's 6, get 20 copper for that, so we'll just sell it. 1 vitality, that's not bad. 50 defense against bleeding attacks. 1 might for 600, I don't know. What have you got? Have you got some nice stuff? Man, that's dear. That's super dear. Scarlet Chorus leather armor? I didn't want to buy it, I want to look at it. Compared to hers. Armor 1, armor 3. Recovery's 0.5, same as that. That looks pretty damn good. It's light armor. Yeah. Alright, yeah, I'll have that. I can afford that, I'll have it. Horde boots. Is that for her as well, I assume? Bloody Scarlet Fury boots. Shit, that's good too. Alright. Scarlet Fury gloves, I assume these are all better. Yep, I'll have that too. The helmet might be the same as the one we picked up. This is fine, that one's common. That one's plus 3 accuracy as well. Damn, there's some good stuff here. I don't know if I want to spend all that money. I can't even afford all that. I just want the armor. The armor will be fine. I'd like a new weapon, but... I'm not too worried. I'll trade that. That cost a fortune. I hope it pays off in the end. Alright, we'll put some new gear on you. Looking pretty badass now. I suppose I should sell that shit back to him. Yes. Here, buy that. I'll get a gold out of that. That'll do. Alright, what else have we got? Who else do we talk to around here? Anything to loot? Well, I can loot that. No, like 47 subterfuge, that's a lot. Jesus. Not going to be getting into that anytime soon. What do we got here? Bent bronze sword. Super. Something to sell. What do we got here? We can rest here, that's cool. Well, look who we have here. Chewing on some manner of cud, a heavyset soldier flings spittle and crumbs as she talks. The Fatebinder finally shows himself. I'm Rig. The second soldier chimes in, and this is Baz. We were wondering when you might pay the camp a visit. The fifth eye has been a little starved for attention. He ordered us to watch you like a troublesome babe. Make sure you don't get out of line. Baz knits her fingers together, joints crackling as she smiles. Rig clears his throat loudly, scowling at Baz. Something like that. If you have questions, ask us. Good luck finding anyone else in the camp who will give you answers, or even a smile. Anything we can do for you? What can you tell me about the fifth eye? Rig trades an uncomfortable glance with Baz and lowers his voice to a whisper. They say he shares a direct link with the voices of Narat. Guard your tongue around him. He's a little wild, bloodthirsty, mad. Baz thinks for a moment. Brilliant. I was gonna say eccentric. The chorus isn't picky about who joins the ranks, so you can expect to find some unusual types. Most are likely to kill you as promote you. What do you know about Vendrian's well? The walls might seem imposing, but the Vendrian Guard do a better job of hiding its weakness than fixing them. She shrugs. We took the Citadel once before, we can take it again. We have to, don't we? Rig looks up at the imposing tower of the spire. Though Kairos knows, I don't want to stay any longer than necessary. She follows his gaze and shakes her head. You should know better than to parade your cowardice before the Fatebinder. It's not cowardice, it's just superstition. Are you afraid of the spire? Sorry, Fatebinder, I shouldn't have mentioned anything. He sighs. The fact of the matter is that we were told to stay away from spires and old walls ever since we were babes. Of all the dumb childhood lessons that fell by the wayside, that one stayed the same. Imagine a soldier of the chorus pissing himself over architecture. Well, like what's underneath it, Reg frowns. The Bane lurk around those old sites and kill anything that they can catch unawares. I've no wish to meet the Bane in combat unless there are 100 blood chanters at my back. She twists her lip into a frown and considers this. Me neither, I suppose. Farewell. I don't really want to know about you. I don't really care, frankly. Sorry. Nope, new stuff to loot. What do we got here? Bloodchanter's cloak. A fragment. Super. You guys aren't important. Okay. Who we got here? This is locked. 37 subterfuge. Who's Selveros? See what? Let's talk to you. You. Talk! Hail, Fatebinder of Tunon! The disfavoured officer pounds a heavy gauntlet against his chest in a stiff but warm greeting. Were I a betting or superstitious man, I'd say fortune must favour me today. I am not. But I am pleased to meet you all the same. Now, what brings you to my little slice of personal damnation, otherwise known as... He spreads his thickly gloved hands twice. This here mud and shit stinking chorus camp. I like this guy. I like him. You have anything to report, soldier? Maybe you've noticed something unusual during your time here. He cants his head to one side, taken aback. What about the chorus isn't unusual? The army itself is a strange, malnourished beast. But no, the screamers seem mostly in order, sir. And I haven't been spying, if that's what you're implying, sir. Still as a post, he studies you sharply, scarcely appearing to breathe. Of course, even if I was, it'd be damn near impossible to learn anything from this shit sty. Fifth Eye and those damn Furies don't even loop me in enough for me to do my detail. And it's not for lack of trying on my part. What do you mean? I'm not just here to keep a steady eye on the Oathbreakers, who they give far too much freedom after conscripting. I'm here to be a resource for the benefit of both armies. I can provide insight regarding proper stratagem and request a stock of troops from the Iron Marshal Eranos for reinforcements, if needed. But they won't listen to me, nor confide in me, nor fight beside the brethren I could request. Why are you stationed with the chorus? From the way most of my days ago, You'd think I was here to row at the Blood Chanters and Scarlet Furies, but my post is to represent the disfavored's interests before the Fifth Eye and the Scarlet Choruses, before Iron Marshal Erenus. Not that I've gotten to do either in so much the last span. Have they been cooperative? No one tells me anything. They all lack honor and discipline. Don't think they could cooperate even if that's what they actually wanted, he grunts. Guess I shouldn't be surprised considering they serve the Archon of Secrets. You speak ill of one of Kairos' generals? Or a keen observation? A keen observation. I'm glad we see eye to eye, sir. It's nice speaking with someone who doesn't try to frustrate the piss out of you every 4 words. It's like they don't even care. I'm the closest thing to a friend in the disfavored they've got. Farewell. Interesting. We can loot this one here. Rice, for the look of it. We got Death Knell, Fifth Eye. Should I talk to you? Death Knell? You. As much as an accusation as a question, the broad-shouldered woman shakes her head with a scowl. So you're Tunon's Fatebinder. I was expecting something more impressive. She bows in spite of her misgivings. Death Knell, Scarlet Fury. My time is yours, as long as it amuses me. The fighter effortlessly spins a bronze sword around in her hand. Let's get one thing clear. Stick to your words and law. Leave the fighting to the grown adults. Your corpse would just be a tripping hazard to those of us having a proper bit of carnage sport. We've got enough useless twats dying for our name as it is. All our horde recruits seem good for, of late, is piling in shit-reeking mounds on the battlefield. She hums low to herself and flips her sword side to side, with several deft flicks of her wrist. Keeps up, and we'll have to toughen our recruitment standards. Again. Now what do you need? Insult me again and I'll bury that blade in your belly before you can scream. She peels a surprised but pleased laugh at your threat. Tapping the flat of the blade against her thigh, she cants her neck until it audibly cracks. Maybe there's something more to you Fatebinders after all. What were you expecting? Let's see. Death Knell counts on her fingers, conducting some mental tally. From your deeds during the conquest, and how you've helped us since then. She shrugs. Suppose I didn't expect much, and you've done nothing to challenge it. By Scarlet Chorus standards, you're no more an ordinary than a conscript. Work a little harder on setting yourself apart. Maybe someday you'll live up to your name. I don't like you. I don't like you at all. You're a douchebag. Fifth Eye. The Fifth Eye, commander of the local Scarlet Chorus, surveys his camp, watching in stillness as all manner of violence and revelry occur around him. He offers a slight nod at your approach. Was there anything else? What's your role in the chorus? Whilst the whole of the chorus remains loyal to the voices of Narat, I am truly the most loyal. His voice becomes wistful, oh so loyal, of his numerous warriors. He's a Crimson Spear, part of the Archon's inner circle. Dozens of the strongest gang bosses answer to him, and from there the orders trickle down to the rest of the army. I am the Archon's martial retainer and humble servant. I am his eyes and ears, but also his mouth, for I speak with his authority when he is absent. He twirls his flanged spear in his hand. And I am his killing edge when the rabble is moved to war. Did you ask for this honor? I did not have to. The voices of Narat saw the need inside me, and through his arcane ministrations burnt away the clinging, cloying parts of me that foolishly resisted his enlightenment. Disgusting as I may find this creature, the Fifth Eye is not the only one who has suffered changes in the service of this war. No, indeed, you ironclad behemoth. He looks Barrack up and down with interest. Have you ever considered jumping ship and enlisting with the chorus? With strength like yours, we could have you leading a decorated gang in your first week. If I ever jumped ship, it would only be to sink to the bottom of the waves, beyond the reach of you and your parasite of an Archon. What do we got? Are all the Crimson Spears as odd as you? I will not ask you to speak of the other Fatebinders. I will not speak of the other Crimson Spears. He's odd as fuck because he's an eye, not because he's a Crimson Spear. The Spears are a cold, determined bunch. Eyes are a breed apart, owning a fraction of the Archon of Secrets madness. When did you take the vows of the chorus? Unlike most of the conscripts here, I did not need a cudgel against my head to see the wisdom of the Archon of Secrets. I proudly joined the chorus in its nascent days. left my home and bastard city to join with the incoming chorus, and the rest is glory in history. These days, you follow the chorus or die. We who choose the path and killed to defend our place are the old guard. Even if it's been 2 or 3 years, the chorus has a short memory. He nods to the fifth eye with grudging respect. Who is the strongest in your camp? I am, naturally. Well, the Archon is without question the mightiest in camp. Deathnell is the master trainer here, and she's almost tough enough to take me. She's a biter. Don't tell her I told you that. But she can be trusted to fight and lead. And while her humility is lacking, Verse is correct. She's been running with the Furies even longer than Deathnell. Too bad that skill is... I don't know that word. Did nothing to save her sisters. Sounds like you're insulting my friend here. Did I detect a hint of fighting words in your voice? Then I must have spoken in error. I meant no offense. I wished only to convey that Verse is a true survivor, an embodiment of the kind of grit the chorus reveres. So kind of you to step in and protect our honor that way, because I am clearly incapable of speaking for myself. Fuck you then. Is there a reliable quartermaster or peddler in camp? Talk to Sniggler Dagos. He's wise enough not to steal from you, and he'll only cheat you a little bit. He's right over there. He points nearby to the east. But he has the important honor of trying to arm, all my merry little conscripts. So I didn't expect Karos's armory or anything. Farewell. So we talking to these guys? Please, someone. I wish to bow before the voices of Narat. I thought all could find redemption in the chorus. A woman in makeshift armor of the Vendran Guard lurches forward in agony. Her soiled, trembling legs suggest she's been forced to stand for days. This one, he flippantly waves at the prisoner, was hollering earlier that she knows the location of the Vendran Guard encampment, but she isn't being entirely honest. I told this thing, the prisoner turns a pale movement before a look of determination comes over her face, that I wanted a guarantee I'd live and be welcomed into the chorus as a captain. Then I'll talk. Otherwise, they'll just kill me once I've opened up. I was dumb enough to join with the Vendran Guard, but I'm not dumb enough to give away my bargaining bronze. You claim you would disavow your people for the Scarlet Chorus. Why the change of heart? Because I want to live, and you don't need to be the Archon of Premonitions to know that the younger realms are gone for good. She blinks several times, catching her breath. Kairos is the new strength of the Tears, and I'd rather stand with his Archons than be crushed by them. Why should I trust the words of an Oathbreaker? I suppose I have no answer for that. Varaya's eyes fall to the ground as she swallows nervously. When I joined with the Vendran Guard, I accepted their broken vow unto myself. Have you not felt passion for a foolish cause? One you later came to regret? Well, my surrender is sincere, and I am willing to bow before the voices of Narat to prove it. Tell me what you know, and I can see your release. I heard the chorus is looking for Captain Pelox Florian and his crew. I can lead you to them, but only if you release me. She turns her head, taking a long look at skewered and smouldering corpses around her. She tugs at her restraints, but to no avail. You're lying. Why don't you tell me what you actually know, and I'll see about saving you. Well, you see, shaken by your demand, her lips move wordlessly for several seconds. So I don't know exactly where the rest of the crew is, but I can tell you. She shakes her head, catching her breath. Search that one. She reaches up with her right leg and points with her foot, calling attention to a nearby pile of corpses. The tall, dark one, missing most of his face. Check his left boot. He was the literate one in our crew. He had the orders. With a snap of his fingers, a pair of choirmen yank the boot off the fallen guardsman. A rolled parchment slides out of the boot and is thrust into the Fifth Eye's hands. He unfurls the scroll to give it a read. It's nonsense, just a mash of words. Laughter erupts from under the mask. She said she had information, she gives us garbage. Slay this wretch for wasting our time. He snaps his fingers at nearby Scarlet Fury, who promptly snatches a long knife from her belt. I heard her say she'd swear fealty to the voices of Narat. An initiation rite would be in order. Seeing as you're an expert on the subject of fate, I'll entertain your wisdom on the matter. Point then. What then would you propose we do with her? Point to the other two prisoners. Let's test your loyalty. Varaya, kill these guardsmen with something blunt. Varaya looks at the prisoners, once her ally, and closes her eyes as her bonds are untied. The onlookers snicker and cheer as a heavy rock is placed in her hands. Mouthing something inaudible, she lifts the rock high above her head and smashes it down on the prisoner's skull. Wincing back is a scream as she hoists the stone over her head a second time to finish the job on the other prisoner. The bloody rock hits the ground and Varaya slumps to her knees in defeat a moment later. Good, good. The fifth eye places his bloodied hand on the trembling woman's shoulders and nods to her. Welcome to the Scarlet Chorus. Do not fail us. As a pair of soldiers come to lift Varaya, the fifth eye turns to you, his voice filled with glee. Where's a salve to clean up the offal when you need it? Indeed. We're no closer to finding the Oathbreaker's position, not with this cryptic mess. She promised us answers and she gave us gibberish.
Sorry to interrupt, but I highly doubt it's gibberish. More likely, it's one of the local scripts.
The voice comes from another prisoner tied up next to Varaya, an older gentleman with the quills, ink vials, and parchment scrolls one finds on the sages of the School of Ink and Quill. Ink smudges cover his cheeks, temples, and ears. His clothes appear charred, and between the rips of the fabric, you spot burn scars along his arms. Despite being emaciated and tied to a post, he was bearing a smile. Who are you?
I'm Sage Lantry, one of the hired quills that was coordinating missives between the Vendrian Guard captains. They aren't paying me anymore and aren't coming to my rescue. So I'll decipher that parchment for you. That's what smart prisoners do, right? Make themselves useful.
Can you read this?
Let me see. I can't.
You hold the parchment in front of the bound sage, his eyes dart down the length of the missive. He reads the words a second time, nodding in silence.
I don't know exactly what it says, but I'm half certain that's Sage Selwyn's handwriting. I'm sure I could decipher that in a few hours' time. Don't need my hands free, but I think better when not tied to a post. I know, I'm weird that way.
Smartass. A few hours. Either you read it, or you cannot. What use is a sage that doesn't know his letters? I've heard all I need to hear. I say we have some fun with this one. Your life depends on you translating the scroll, now.
I would love to help. I just need some time. That's written in another sage's shorthand. I'd have to sit down with it, or better yet, compare it to a piece of his writing I have stashed on me somewhere. If I sat down with it while sufficiently sober, it's highly probable I'd figure it out.
Sober? Since when do we share the good stuff with the prisoners?
Oh, nobody shared. Right before I was taken prisoner, I imbibed several vials of reagents. I wanted to be numb and disconnected when my captors used me for carnal catharsis. It's made these last few days tied to a post almost enjoyable.
It can't hurt to give him a few hours. You read the edict. You read the edict. I don't need to tell you the sundial is working against us. This addled old bag is just trying to stall us. The voices of Narat will be upset to know you squandered a source of enemy intelligence. How true. Then we shan't put him to waste. He will serve as a most riveting source of amusement as we put him on trial.
Fatebinder, I beseech you, be my advocate for this trial. I'm no fool. I know the chorus uses blood, not words, to settle these matters. But you are a servant of the Archon of Justice, are you not?
Release this prisoner at once. I'm taking him into custody. Not a chance. He's our prisoner. If you think you can crack the information we need out of his skull without troubling the Archon, that's one thing. But you're not walking out of here with our property. Grab him by the mask. Did you just tell me no? Nah, the chorus warrior emits a whimpering squeal as you grab him by the chin of his mask and pull him close. Gloved hands press against you, but try as he might, he cannot exceed your pull. Release the prisoner to me, and I won't shame and degrade you in full view of your followers. Yes, yes, he grunts and stammers as he struggles to wrest free from your grip. Once you release him, he shuffles to regain his composure. You two, Dusting himself off with one hand, he waves to the two nearby conscripts with the other. Release the sage. He's the Fatebinder's problem now. The sage is unbound from the post. Stiff legs nearly buckle as he attempts to walk, and his arms flex and flail in the new freedom. Wiping sweat and grime from his brow, the sage steps close to you with a nervous smile.
Thank you. Oh, I thought I was going to wind up as another corpse in that pile. Now, hand me that parchment. The sooner I can find out what it says, the sooner I can get out of this place.
Dunsky. Well, much of the parchment was weathered, but I could make out the important parts of the text. The note makes mention of a meeting spot west of Tripnettle. So the old sage knows his words after all. I'd ask that you travel ahead and see if you can't get this Captain Florian to yield to the chorus. They will strike at first sight of a chorus gang, but perhaps they'll parley if yours is the face they see. I know the area and I suggest we go at once. I'll show you the way. I'm eager to be far from this stench of this camp. You're offering to come with me? Why? Because the alternative is what? Living here with these illiterate brutes. My old study is under a river of fire and there's no family missing me. Besides, I'd much rather chronicle the binder that twice proclaimed an edict of Kairos. I'd be a fool to let someone else write your story. Fine, if you're so eager, come with me. Splendid, you won't be disappointed. I know I may seem old and frail, but I know how to step lightly and how to not get killed. Really, I won't slow you down. Lead the way, and let me know if I can be of service. Are we done here? Let's hightail it to Tripnettle. If your new pet doesn't behave himself along the way, I'm not above clipping his ears. Alright, we got a new member. Does that mean we've got level ups to do? I assume it does. What does he do, exactly? Look at his gear. He has a helmet. I don't know why he's not wearing it. He has a quill. Okie dokie. Interesting. Oh, he's a mage. Of course he's a mage. Okie dokie, I get it. Alright, resolve. Magic defenses. Wits, I assume, is magic damage, is it? Pick up on cues. Wits increase spell strength as well as increased magic defense. Alright, I suppose we'll put it into wits then. I'll put one into wits and maybe one into vitality. Alright, what do we got? Has he got healing? Oh, sweet, he does have healing. We've got 2 points. We'll put one into healing. Greater renewal. Is this is passive? No? Renewal requires 1 teleport to spend as renewal. Launcher resorts to a party's weapon and armor to pristine condition. Increases the damage from weapons and protection from armor. Okay, I see. Vigor, arcane shield. Grants a bonus to arcane armor and magic defense. Is that passive? It is passive. Yep, might as well take that as well. So we got gifted healer and we've got arcane shield passive. I like passive skills, they're my favourite. Alright, so where are we going next? Tripnettle Wilderness. Echo Call Crossing. Northern Clearing. And Echo Call Crossing for that one as well. I think we're done here. I think it's time to move out. Yeah, and that's pretty much the entire episode again. Spent entirely in this camp this time. But we will make our move to the next area first. Before we end the episode. So we'll start off in the new area. And if we get ambushed, well, there's some action there. Tripnettle Wilderness, how far is that? 6 hours? How long's... It's 3 hours to Echo Call Crossing. I guess we're going to Echo Call Crossing. We got to preserve our time, I guess, if we got 8 days. Probably get hustling, you know? Yeah, and we didn't get ambushed, so... I guess this is it then. Alright, we're going to stop this episode here before we start talking to anyone or encounter anything. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me. And in the next episode, hopefully some action will occur.